Walking into the meadow area, have a glimpse at the meadow wildlife, the monarch butterfly, the primrose moth, the common eastern bumblebee, the savanna sparrow, several species of native pollinators that call Fairwinds Park their home. Creatures are called pollinators, include birds, bats, bees, wasps, insects, and small mammals that move pollen from one plant to another. This pollination is the most important phenomena, the process which goes on in nature for spread of life. That's a view with the sunlight grazing over the meadow area. I'll split my video into three parts because this meadow is going to be missed otherwise. The tall grasses in the marshy area. On the margins, it's a marshy area with tall grasses, wildflowers, lovely wildflowers. Lovely wildflowers. All types, all colors, all colors. The cactus with the flowers. All wildflowers. And some of these plants, their leaves resemble what we call the peepal tree in India. Surely it's different, but that's the similarity. And here too, the big wood logs have been put up to protect the kids who play here from straying into the marshy area. One can see the water body from a distance, and there's a huge labor they have put in to dig these deep enough so that they don't shake or tumble down and make it unstable. There we see the water body from a distance. I'll go close to this. I'll go close to it before I take up the park area. The park has good enough parking and an improvised portable washroom too. This is ideal public service of a administration for maintaining a lovely park close to these residential flats with thousands of people, including my own family, live here and come for a breath of fresh air and pleasant outing into the Fairwinds Park. One can see small birds. Unfortunately, one sees a bit of littering of these plastic bottles, which is quite unusual in Canada. It's kept quite clean and quite well. The tall grasses, I'll try to capture a good view of the tall grasses. Coyotes in the area. The caution about the coyotes. They're right in putting this protection. I saw a little kid with football or volleyball. His volleyball could stray into the pond and giving temptation to the child to go over to pick up and land in some danger zone. Here is the margin and the water body with so much of a green crusty layer on the top. So that's almost on the margin, just at the just to give a view of the tall grasses, tall beautiful grasses. The marsh could be in any underdeveloped country, surely quickly converted into a dumping yard. But here, fortunately, and very imaginatively, this water body is being maintained. The trees inside have died. One can see the bird perched on the top, and I go a little further where the Wetlands life is described. Wetland wildlife. Wetland wildlife. The wetland behind and the wetland wildlife described so nicely. That's the wetland which is visible from my flat on the 13th floor in that water garden 35. So many families from across the world live here in these residential flats, overseeing this Fairwinds Park. Here, a view of the wetland life, which I will spend some time reading out. Broadleaf cattail, male mallard, Typha latifolia, Enas platyrhynchos. Wetlands are low-lying areas that are saturated with water. Technically speaking, as a geologist, I would say where the water table is on the surface. About over 56 years back, when we read about the groundwater, and I saw a marshy land in the city, Chandigarh, I described to my teacher that I saw an area where the water table was on the surface. Here again, the water table is on the surface, saying that it is all saturated, so saturated the water is visible at the surface. There are requests to let the wild be wild. There's a danger to feeding the wild. it could affect their longevity and their sustainability. So these wetlands are landscapes. They play an important role in the environment by offering protection from floods and filtering out pollutants to maintain water quality. Wetlands are also home to lots of different plants and animals. Unfortunately, with the increase of land being used for agriculture and the expansion of cities, about a third of the wetlands in this watershed have been lost. For this reason, it's important to protect the existing wetlands and create new wetlands like the one in Fairwinds Park. The wetlands in Fairwinds Park is a meadow marsh. It's normal for this type of wetland to have some standing water. It's also normal for this type of wetland to appear dry. The amount of water may change from year to year, season to season. This is the natural process that is inherent to the dynamic nature of the wetland. One of the creatures that call Fairwinds Park home is mallard duck. This is the mallard duck. Mallards like to live close to the water and can often be seen in wetlands in Fairwinds Park. This type of duck is very adaptable. Wow, I see the geese coming for having a sip of the water from the wetland. It's great fun. I interrupt my narration of the wetland wildlife for a while to capture this grandeur of the geese coming in great glory and gradually getting close to the water and a baby geese following the mother. I saw these geese for the first time in my life. Last year, here are the geese excreta. The whole area would be full of geese excreta. Unfortunately, some cigarette butts, which it's a shame that cigarette butts are being thrown by people all over those residential flats, outer area where they smoke, and here in the park too. I hope something is done to discipline these people. The geese enter this wetland and have a great time. I am cautious not to transgress into the wetland territory, but I'm trying to capture. Oh yeah, I'm trying to capture the glorious swim of the geese after a few sips. Rightly said, let the wild be wild. Man often does that blunder of trying to feed the wild. The wild is happy being wild. The wild was wild before the man came on this planet. So let man not overestimate his capacity to feed. The man should know that he is not here for long. These beautiful creatures were there for much longer than the man. Birds came way far before the man came on the planet. Obviously, all these forests also came on the land in those Silurian times, the geological past. Without that, we wouldn't have had the forest we have, coal deposits, and all that we're standing on. There is a wild music. I'll stop my narration to capture the birds chirping